rely on your wisdom, Lord, not our own, and help us to succeed in serving the residents of Laclede County with the funds and that are available. And Lord, just help us always be mindful of why we're here to serve and who we're here to serve, not ourselves, but those for the greater good of Laclede County. Lord, again, just be with us this morning, be with our guests here today, and may everything we say and do here this morning bring honor and glory to your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have minutes for November 28th.
Make a motion to approve minutes for November 28th as written.
Second it.
Okay, motion second for the minutes for 28th. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Next, we have Ryan from Fabick. Ryan Tate. So Ryan, what's on your mind this morning?
Just wanted to come up and discuss the skid steer that we demoed to you guys and update the quote on stuff with some November programs, and wanted to see what you were thinking there and if you were what we wanted to do with it. So,
Well, it's my understanding that we have waived all formal bidding process, and we've put the legal notice in the local newspaper, which has to run for 10 days. And when that went in, the time that we'll bring this back up would be December 2nd.
okay.
Okay. But we just have to let that clock run. And, but it is our intention, I believe, is what I've been told, that that's the unit that we want.
Okay.
Looks like you put together a pretty good deal, Joe. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, with the specs and the availability of what's going on and what we need it for,
No.
and the uses, with the capacities and stuff like that that's there, I believe it's the item that's going to work best for us.
Okay.
And then the warranty is just exceptional with what we've read. So per our discussions with everybody involved,
Sure.
even our foreman. So
We've got it on the yard and tagged for you. So whenever you want to ink that, then we can set up delivery and training and all that stuff. So.
Well, I would suggest you work that out with Jerrod,
Yeah.
and that would be taken up on the 2nd.
Mhm.
And then at that point, whenever it's convenient for Jerrod to accept delivery of that and for you to deliver it, that would be good with us.
That'll be good. I brought a copy of the sale agreement, so at that time we can move forward with that.
So I'm going to present this sales agreement, and it is in the amount of $87,529.38. And one of the things, if I remember correctly in conversation, this has a 7-year, 84-month warranty.
Yep.
And I just felt like that was head and shoulders above everything else that we could have invested in. We use our equipment breaks. And again, with the information I have, this seems like the equipment that will give us the best service over a length of time.
Sure.
And I think, Joe, there again, you spec'd out a lot of this. So,
right. Yeah, and with that, like you said, I mean, that you keyed on the service part of it, and that's huge right now with what we've been dealing with on some other equipment, some other stuff, other individuals and stuff, and just trying to get things done to where we can keep moving forward, keep our county good and safe for everybody.
So secondly, brought Mike Walker up with me today. He's with ESP Fuels. Kind of visit about our.
Is he running your agenda?
pardon me.
I said, is he running your agenda now?
Yes, he.
I didn't know you had him on there separately, so go ahead.
Ryan is.
Go right ahead.
We appreciate your permission.
Ryan's earned enough points.
Is that what it is? He just don't get a swivel chair yet.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
I think I got him on that one.
You did get him on that one.
So welcome to our meeting. Look forward to what you have to share with us. So we'll give you the floor.
Yeah. So I'm Mike with ESP Fuels. Ryan asked me to come up and talk to you guys about maybe some of the services that we can offer. Of course, we supply diesel fuel in the Springfield area. We come up to Lebanon quite a little bit. I'm sure you guys are probably using MFA or Empire up in this neck of the woods, but also was going to throw something out with winter. I know you guys have to keep the roads clear, and so we've offered to some of the trucking companies in the Springfield area, we're able to get number 1 diesel. So you lose the risk of the gelling and the hassles that come with that cold weather. So I'd love to at least, be able to maybe bid on your fuel next time you guys open that up or find out exactly how you guys do that. So didn't know what that looked like.
Yeah, with winter coming up, if I can. With winter coming up and stuff and these colder temperatures, we've had a couple of days there where I know there was some ice on the water troughs and stuff on the farm this last week or so. So this number 1, because I'm not that intelligent on a lot of this stuff when it comes to that. I just know what's happened to me and what I try to do to fix and make it better. So with this number 1 fuel and stuff, I've done a little bit of research on it. You don't necessarily have to treat number 1 until you get down to.
So the only difference between number 1 and number 2 is number 1 doesn't have the paraffin wax in it. So whenever we went to the ultra low sulfur fuel 10, 15 years back, that took a lot of the lubricity out of it. So then they upped the paraffin wax in that a little bit. So then we saw a lot more of a chance of it gelling. That's what makes it thick. Everyone calls it gelling, but all that is just that wax is finally cold enough that it starts separating from the fuel. So number 1 doesn't have any of that in there. And so you'll see it, like you'll never see number 1 diesel in the pipeline any farther south than Kansas City. So the price difference between number 1 and number 2 is only about 10 or 15 cents a gallon, but it's the trucking that hurts because it's got to either come from Coffeyville, Kansas or Kansas City. So that's what makes it rough. That's why more people don't run it in the wintertime. So
right. That was my next question there, if we had an estimated cost difference or so.
So like I said, it's about 10 to 15 cents a gallon higher than number 2, and then the trucking from Kansas City, you're probably going to add another 45 to 50 cents on it to get it from Kansas City to here. And that is like transport load is 6,800 gallons. So I don't know, what your tank capacity is. A lot of times we'll bring transport loads into Springfield and then we can haul out then in smaller quantities. So you wouldn't necessarily have to take a full transport load, but that's the most efficient and the cheapest.
Right.
So, and it can drop at different places if you don't have one tank that holds 6,800, but it's nice to be able to pull in and drop a full load.
Sure. Yeah, that's going to save on time and everything as well, and fuel on that end of it for that. So, but do you, and I'm sure you probably do and stuff, but I don't believe we have the capacity to handle a full load, of course, at Road and Bridge or anything. I know they've tried in the past, have tried bulk tanks or something stuff going on there. We currently don't have one there, I don't believe, at this point. So with that being said, you do have multiple drops, or like you said, you've got Springfield, and then you can bring it to us.
Correct. Yeah. What we
like I said, if we done like 1,000 gallon tank or 500 or even.
Yeah, if you needed 1,000 gallons, what we do is we just blend it in Springfield and haul it to you up here and drop off 1,000, and we hit stops along the way. I think some of you know Adam and Melvin Hoffman.
Yep.
Yeah, so we haul up to them quite a little bit, and so we're up here in this neck of the woods quite often. So that wouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah.
So. And you really, I'd love to sell you some number 1. I'd love to sell you some fuels in general, but that number 1 is only vital when we get 15 degrees and lower.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So, and we've never had any issues with it, because down here, if we get to 10 below, that's a cold morning. But 10, 15 below, you still don't have to do any additive with it. It's in good shape. So,
okay.
But just remember, if we bring 1,000 gallons of number 1 up and you dump it into let's say a 1,500 gallon tank that still has 500 gallons of number 2 in it, you've diluted it a little bit. Won't hurt anything, but you know what I mean? You've lowered it down. Mm-hmm. And then if a road grader pulls in and the guy only puts 100 gallons in it and it holds 150, you've diluted it. You know what I mean? You've diluted it down a little bit more. So just always remember that when you're, planning. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it definitely brings up more thought for some discussion
Yeah, you bet.
and everything for sure on that. So
And you could supply a tank to
Yes.
the shop.
that was my next. Yeah.
Yeah, we can supply a tank for you guys. So depending on what your usage is, I mean, if you can get with me on that, then we can kind of plan that. But I don't care one bit to set a 2,000 or 3,000 gallon tank, through the winter, to get you through it. And then, like I said, if we could lead it into more, let us bid on your fuel for year round, it'd be great.
60 cents a gallon approximately. More. How much is your trucking then going to add to it?
That would be all in.
That's everything.
Yeah, that would be all in. Yeah, 'cause
And
like I said,
that's off of a bobtail.
correct. It'd be off of a 5,800 gallon truck.
Okay.
And that would be, that's me planning on hitting some stops along the way, which is not your problem, but you know what I mean? We hit some stuff along the way, so. And of course, with us, fuel prices fluctuate when we get a change 6 times a day. They're not drastic changes, but it'll be a couple cents up, couple cents down. And so
Right.
I don't foresee any number one for at least another 45 days, just because it's normally January, February where we see the problem. So, the price will could fluctuate a bunch between now and then. It's just hard to lock that in for us.
If we didn't want to spend 60 cents a gallon for number one, do you promote, use, recommend an additive over another's?
We don't.
Okay.
We don't.
Is that you just covering yourself, or?
So we've tried them all. Actually, at the terminal, we pull everything from Republic, from the Magellan terminal. They actually have an additive that we get from November 1st all the way to March 1st. We get their additive that's put in it, but we still have had trouble with it. And we've tried them all. And the only thing that we found that works guaranteed is number one. I mean, that's why when you go to South Dakota, it's number one. They're not adding additives up there either. It's just straight number one. So we don't make anything in-house ourselves, and we've not found anything that just is amazing.
So when you consider the cost of an additive versus the price of the number one, so that 60 cents difference then shrinks a little bit, I'm sure. Can you quote me a per cent or difference there? So
3 to 5 cents a gallon
is that what it is? Okay.
for a good one.
Okay.
We've just, and I guess I should be making myself perfectly clear. There's very few companies that use number one. We've got some dairies that get it. We've got the mail service that gets it. The people that have to run are the only ones really that are getting it. Your normal farmer or normal trucking company's not messing with it, because if it's 10 below, a lot of times they're not going to try to start their rigs first thing in the morning anyway. We just do it for people that have got to push snow and stuff like that. So, and they buy a small quantity because it's just for the 5 to 10 days a year. It seems like that we're nasty cold like that, So.
How often do you, come through the area? Is it every 3 days, once a week?
Once a week.
Once a week.
Yeah. Okay. And it's something, if something was to pop up, how we normally run, of course, we've got tanks and we've got monitors and a bunch of them. And so if you called and said, hey, we need a load of number one, we would start then reaching out to people in this direction, to see where everybody's at.
Right.
So.
And that's why I was asking, because you mentioned there, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you mentioned 2,000 to 3,000 gallon tank.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And just depending on what, we've got 1,000s, we've got 2,000s, we've got 3,000, 4,000s. It would just be, depending on what you guys thought your usage was,
Right, and I just want the information from Smalls, and we know we can always go all the way up to the full load.
You betcha. Yeah,
So,
I wouldn't want to set you 4,000 gallon tank and you guys get 4,000 gallons number one and only need 1,000. That's not a win for anybody, So.
And, sorry, go ahead.
With the number one, is it important then to add some lubricity to it?
If you were going to run it every day, especially in the summertime, so number one burns a lot hotter, burns a lot faster. And so if you're going to use it in the summertime, absolutely. But just for short little bursts during the winter, we don't really normally add anything.
Because you've got that other red fuel already in there.
You've
that we're
probably
kind
got
of mixing a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's not a longevity fuel.
Some of the things, one of the cool things that I've turned him on to other people is their monitors. They've got GPS monitors in their tanks. So once it hits, wherever they set a target at, it'll flag their system, and then they can start getting it on routes and stuff.
Yeah, like we know all the time. If we set a tank for you, we know all the time what the level was. And then you guys can as well. You can log into it and you can set alerts so where you can have it where if someone just took 200 gallons out of it at 1 o'clock in the morning, that shouldn't be you know what I mean? It just kind of gives you,
Yeah,
you can set
monitor time frames and everything.
absolutely, yes. You're kind of like, hey, I wonder if that was a theft or if that was, works pretty neat. And then for us, we use it for routing to where we set alerts at 30%. So we know, hey, they're getting low, get them on the list.
So Ryan, I guess I'd have a question for you, and maybe it's a follow-up with Joe or Erik there mentioned something. So when we have the timing of this and we have some of the current diesel in the machine, is there any concern at all? Do we need to be sensitive to running a machine tank lower?
Well,
is there something there that could still generate some issues?
If we can see it on the 10-day, we can start topping off your own transport truck. They've got a truck with 1,000-gallon tank on it.
I don't think it's quite
Or 500.
Yeah, I think it's 500.
So they go fill it, and then they get every grader every day. So if we can see something on the 10-day, then you can kind of start diluting things down. Maybe start adding your number one to that transport, and he starts getting it in all the machines. And surely if it's 50%, it would be
Absolutely,
okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, every percent's that much helping. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Right, but like to Eric's statement there, the lubricity of it, because the way things and stuff are made, because like you said, it burns hotter.
Yep.
We all know if you burn hotter, you're going to be melting some things down. That also brings back on some of this equipment stuff that we're putting this in, we have warranties on. So where is that going to hold us up on any of that?
We're good. So in Wisconsin in November, so our sister stores in Wisconsin and UP in Michigan, November they go to number one, and they don't let off of it until 1st of March.
So number one mixed in with
They run straight number one.
they're running it straight.
Yep.
Yeah, once around 1st November, like I said, you go north of Kansas City, even at every truck stop, it's number one. You'll notice it because the first time we got a load of it, it was funny because I'm used to red fuel and just used to number two. Well, this number one is like water. It is thin and it's clear as water. And so your guys, I promise you, the first time they put fuel in something, they're going to think.
Yeah, I don't remember ever seeing the
Yeah,
number one
it's just clear and
Kind of looks like kerosene.
It does. It's just just funny how different it can be.
Is there a mileage offset on the number one?
There is
More or less?
Less. Yeah, you will burn more number one than number two in the same machine in the same environment, just because it burns hotter and faster.
Yeah.
So good for the fuel guy. So.
He's
You said you
honest.
was blending though. When you said when you bring a truck from Kansas City, you will blend. So what are you blending that you deliver?
Well, if you wanted us to blend it, we would. When we bring a 6,800-gallon transport load to Kansas City, we put it in a tank that's nothing but number one. And so then if you guys wanted just straight number one, we bring you 1,000 gallons of it. But if you wanted to do a mixture, we can do a mixture as well.
The one in red.
Yeah. Number one and number two.
Like
Like 70-30 or something?
I mean, most time we do 50-50 just to cover ourselves because I hate to, and we'd hate to mix it 75-25 or 70-30, but we've just done 50-50.
And I guess the blend it's this cost savings.
I mean, you'll get a little bit less, yeah, because you're going to get 1,000 gallons, let's say, with only 500 number one, 500 number two, and so it'll save you a little bit for sure. But I just hate to.
I think defeating the purpose if we're chasing the storm.
Yes. What I was going to say was I hate to bring you 50-50 sometimes, and you put it into a tank, and then the next thing you know, it keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
You're 80-20.
And you take 20 in a hurry. And then the day comes, and it's all gelled up, froze up, and then it's like, what did we?
Didn't accomplish nothing.
We didn't accomplish nothing.
Yep, we just call you.
You call Ryan first.
And I'm going to call Mike.
Blame his machine. That's what we want to make sure.
Ryan knows I'll call it.
Yeah. It's definitely the machine's fault. We'll say that. But yeah, so this, like I said, that's just some options for you guys to think about. And if you want to talk more about it, we absolutely can. So.
question for you, and it may tag both of you. So with this number one in a machine, the warm-up time or the idle time, give me some thoughts on that.
I mean, it's going to be standard warm-up time. I mean, you're basically the warm-up time is for the transmission and the hydraulic system more so than the engine.
Okay.
So warm-up time is not going to change. Shutdown time is not going to change. Idling overnight, which we did last year, is going to change. We're not going to do that because we were letting them idle to keep the number two warm. We won't be doing that, so that'll save hours, wear and tear and stuff. So, and excessive idle time can lead to some emissions issues. You know, if you leave one idle for 20 hours, you know, you could have DPF issues and stuff. So, kind of eliminate that issue as well. They park them out on the roads; they're not plugged in or anything. So,
They idled a lot last year then.
Well, I mean, the beginning of this year here, yeah, after we had some issues and we've seen where we was gonna have more.
we'll have several run for days. Yeah.
They did. Because that was basically our only fix to it.
Because they treated the tar out of them, and it just, I mean, it was cold.
So,
Well, that's one of those additives, you know, they've got that, hopefully none of you are just lovers of power service, but power service has that rescue 911 that you're supposed to be able to dump in there and pulls it back, but it doesn't do nothing.
you still gotta get it all the way through and get some other stuff to go along with it.
You've got to get it
Do your
moving.
due diligence,
You gotta get it.
exactly.
If you can't get it moving, when it won't run, and that's the
Yeah.
And once
that's the
that
fight.
paraffin sets in that paper, it's over.
Yeah, once
gotta
it
get it all
separates, you can't get it to come back together.
Mhm.
Well, even if it jumped up 7 degrees the next morning, you'll still have that separation. And if you've ran it all, your filters have caught every bit of that, and then you're just fighting putting filters in after that.
Yeah, if it's still in your tank and stuff. I had a buddy of mine that not this last season here, but 3 or 4 seasons ago when it got really bad every morning there. I mean, it's pretty nice in the afternoons, but
Yeah.
every morning it was pretty bad. I towed him to his work 3 different mornings.
Yeah.
You know, we changed filters and we done this, and I finally got him. I said, "Hey, look, we're draining that tank."
Yeah.
You know, we drained these tanks, but we ran the 911. We had all that. He was running house at the time, but we put the 911 in it. We get him going in the day, but the next morning it's back the same thing, even with running some 911.
What we see happen most is, you know, those filters are doing what they're supposed to do, and they're pulling water, especially your water filters. You know, they're pulling that out when that water
Changing
freezes,
both, right?
and then that slows the fuel flow down through it, and then it just starts stacking up and stacking up. You know,
Our filters are 4 microns. That's
Very small.
smaller than
Small.
your human hair. So it doesn't take much wax to plug that up.
Told you I had a cure for that.
Yep.
But you don't like that.
Then that will go back to warranty issues.
All right, do we have any further questions?
I don't believe I do at this time.
Okay. All right, well, you're welcome to stay and enjoy the rest of the meeting, or and get on to other meetings, other stops.
Get on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I appreciate seeing you this morning.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Randy.
Thanks, Ron.
Good to see
Mike,
you.
appreciate it.
Eric and you.
You bet.
I'll leave.
Right,
right
Thank
thanks.
you, Joe.
You bet.
Good to see you.
Covered all this leave there for you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're
Here you
fine.
go.
You're fine.
Thanks for the information. And I do need to mention on the skid loader proposal that is on the state bid as well. So just want to make sure everybody understands that. Next thing we have mileage and per diem reimbursement for discussion in action on.
Erik, I think she's right there.
And I had, this had been brought up a few weeks or a few months ago. And if we do this, I would recommend that we start it in the 26 budget. And looking at the current numbers for 25, and this was through about probably 10 days ago, The county has expended $4,554.38 in mileage, and per diem $2,497.63 for a total of $7,052 and a penny. We currently reimburse at 49 cents per mile, but in reviewing where the state and the federal government's at, it's at 70 cents per mile. So I would recommend that we increase that to the 70 cents, and that, and based upon the numbers that we have that are about 10 days old, and just anticipating what we might use here between now and the end of the year, that's probably about a $2,100 increase that we would incur if we move forward with this from 49 cents to 70 cents. The number currently would be $1,951.42, but I'm anticipating with some of the meetings upcoming that will increase. And my estimation would be it would be $2,100 increase to the budget. Then if we look at the per diem, and we look at approximately an 18% increase. Now it may be a little more or a little less in any one of the three line items, but if we look at that, our current per diem for breakfast is $7, lunch is $11, and dinner is $20. I'm going to put it out for discussion that we increase breakfast to $8.50, lunch to $13, and dinner to $23. And I would entertain any discussion or thoughts, and if we reach a consensus here, then I would take it up for an action item so that we can have this as we start working on our 26 budget.
I'm good with all of it.
Yep, I believe it should work. 70 cents a mile is a huge deal right there. You know, for the way they're using their own vehicles and everything as well, but in their own fuel. So that was a big one for me there.
And just an estimation on that increase, we're probably looking at then somewhere in the neighborhood of a $2,600 to $2,700 increase overall if you look at the mileage and per diem. The increase on the per diem, if we increase it approximately that 18%, based upon current numbers, that was $474.92. So, but if you take those together and we adopt it as a one vote, then I would make the recommendation that we increase the mileage to 70 cents, the breakfast to $8.50, lunch for $13, and dinner to $23. And I would entertain a motion to approve that.
Motion to approve the.
And then we have discussion. Okay.
Motion to approve the mileage up to 70 cents, the per diem for breakfast as stated is $8.50, lunch at $13, and then your dinner $23.
Okay, I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second with a little bit of discussion.
Sure. We're now in discussion here.
All
Go ahead.
If we're going to keep it 18%, the dinner should go to $23.50, and the breakfast should go down to $8.25. I'm not going to be a stickler on either one of them, but if we want to keep it,
I can see what you're saying. If
In
you
the round.
want to use a flat rate deal.
What was your number on dinner, Erik?
$23.50.
$3.50. Okay.
That's 10 cents less than 18%.
And you're saying on the breakfast at $8.25. The lunch is all right.
Lunch is good.
What is for lunch, Eric?
I don't know.
Not sure yet.
I don't know.
Linda, you had a question?
Point of
Or
clarification,
comment,
is
yeah.
this per diem only, or is this reimbursed with invoice?
Good question. You wanna explain that?
There is a difference of value to the person getting reimbursed if they have an invoice versus if they provide no invoice and just get a per diem. And that's the two listed down there at the bottom.
Okay.
I just wanna make sure you just,
You know, I took it off with the receipt. I did not take it off of the per diem. So we might want to revisit that.
I'm just thinking when it comes to paying it, that's the part we're looking at.
You see,
Yeah, I was
See-
sitting there looking there where it says right here, and yeah, 'cause you've got difference with no receipt, and then this here's one with the receipt, right?
There was a $12 difference.
If we're just
Correct.
doing the receipts, then that's fine.
This, yeah.
If we're leaving it per diem, that's fine. I just wanna be sure what we're doing.
And that's a
well,
one-
so I really
See what
need
you're
to
saying,
need
yeah.
to restate that,
Yeah.
because we might want to
Mhm.
set both of those, and so we might want to look at truly the per diem, and then look at with receipt.
I didn't realize that there was two different ones there because I couldn't find in my paper and everything.
Well,
So
it was in that stack of my lost papers.
is that what it was? Yeah. So with that, then I guess I can rescind my motion to approve until we do further.
So I think we can hash that out right now.
Yeah,
Well,
let's,
and that's right, but I'm gonna rescind my motion to approve what I approved for, made a motion for. Then we can go from there.
I'll second your rescission.
There you go. Fair did enough.
So I'm coming up with about $31 without a receipt.
And how'd you break that down, Eric?
I didn't. I just took the total.
The 18% or whatever.
6 times 1.18 is about $7. 8 times 1.18 is approximately $9.50. 12 times 1.18 is right at $14. $14.16. If you want to add $14.50 to that, then we'll have $31.
You're basically doing it off the same percentage rate that we jumped
Pretty
up
much.
on the other.
Yeah.
And that's what it ought to be. If we're gonna go off of a percentage or a set, then that's what it needs to be, with or without a receipt.
And that's about the same percentage overall as what that and that are.
Give me your numbers, Eric, please.
$7,
Okay,
$9.50,
okay,
$14.50,
okay,
$31 total.
okay.
And that's for with receipt.
That's
That's with
no
no
receipt
receipt.
required.
No
Per diem.
receipt, okay.
No receipt.
Let me see if I can talk you up just a little bit.
Okay,
You know, just driving around town looking at lunch, I would think that if we, you said $9.50.
my answer to that is gonna be get a receipt.
Okay. Okay.
All places will give you a receipt.
You have to ask for it in some of them now.
Yeah.
So they're not printing the papers, they're not doing it.
Okay, let's see what we've got here then to recap. With no receipt, I heard $7, correct?
For breakfast.
Lunch, $9.50,
Yes, sir.
and dinner, $14.50
Yes.
Mhm.
with no receipt. Now, with receipt, it would be $8.25 for breakfast.
Mhm.
You had for lunch how much?
13.
13, okay. And for dinner you had $23.50.
Mhm.
Okay, I would entertain a motion.
I'm gonna make a motion to approve those numbers as stated for the daily per diem and whatever the other one is called,
Daily actual.
daily actual.
I would second that.
Okay, we have a motion and second to approve the increase in per diem for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and also with receipt, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I think also part of that motion would be to increase the mileage if we're taking it
And we
together.
need to increase the mileage to 70 cents.
Correct. Okay. Now, any further discussion? Nope. Seeing none, I'll ask for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion approved.
Just can we get a copy of it?
You want a cleaner copy?
Yeah, because I thought this too.
You'll
Want
clean it up.
mine?
And Erik?
You'll clean it up.
Don't want mine.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the IT services contract. This is with Sumner One. The prices did not increase, but there's always an inventory taken when the contract's prepared to make sure we have the correct amount of servers, the number of workstations, and everything that goes into the contract. So with this, the number of workstations we have at 114. That's been verified with purchasing. I think that was maybe a slight increase, like either one up or one down. I don't have the comparison to last year. And then on the servers, we actually know that we have 9 servers. Now, there's one piece of hardware, but it's like a pie cut into 9 pieces. Okay, they've just been billing us for 7 pieces of the pie, and they discovered that there's actually 9 pieces to the pie, so there's a little bit of an increase there. And then there were 2 access points in the courtrooms that we no longer needed due to the judges putting in their own system up there. So those had been taken off as well. And this can change throughout the year if we add or delete by number of workstations. It'd be unlikely that we do anything to the server. We might add an access point or eliminate an access point, but this is the renewal, and the bottom line is $7,711.20 per month. Keep in mind that some office, when we did this a few years ago, the county absorbed the most of the IT cost for the office holders when we went to one server, and we did cap the number of workstations that they currently had in their office. So any workstations that have been added after that initial time frame, and I'll point Jennifer out as an example. She had some needs for additional workstations, so out of her budget, she picks up those additional workstations. So she was capped at whatever number it was, and I don't know, there's 1 or 2 more, one more thing, and that's holds true for all office holders. So I would entertain a motion to approve that after you have a chance to review it. And I would entertain any questions to the best of my ability to answer those.
What was last year's per month? Or this year's per month?
You want to text Mike? It didn't increase, Erik, other than the quantity of units. So
So the base rate remained the same?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Just whatever it was times
Yeah,
the
so
two.
we picked up two servers, I think maybe one workstation, and we eliminated 2 access points. So it was a very negligible amount.
I'll make a motion to approve the Sumner One Smart IT Enterprise Renewal 2026.
I
For
would second to move forward.
7711.20 per month. You gonna second it?
I just did.
Oh,
I would
okay.
second to move forward with that motion.
Okay, I had a motion second to approve the IT renewal with Sumner One. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Let's see, I probably, if you will initial that top
Cover.
page.
Cover page.
Yeah, we'll give that to Linda.
Actually, that's not, you got yours numerically correct. Well, that's the Lucas one, folks.
Yeah.
All right, Linda.
Oh, yeah.
Because they do.
Absolutely.
They do their own blend.
Mhm.
With
Well, I think it'd be.
number one.
Mhm. Yeah, but like I said, I mean, that's for more further discussion, but I think that so the individual want to do is good.
You get the blend up high enough.
So do we need to redo this one then?
Can you give me a break?
Yeah, I'll do that, and I'll go to.
Going on that resolution for
CDG,
sunshine.
well, I'll wait till you get back.
This is coming from
Recess
our
then.
lawyer.
Yeah.
Or see the email that had the names and stuff, Ryan, so say no. Thank you,
Probably
Linda.
wise.
I appreciate that.
Okay, we're going to, Linda's gonna get that resolution ready for us, and I'm going to get some coffee.
Found that as well.